Crumbs kitchen, and today I've got myself, Carol McFarland, and Jackie Eaton in the kitchen. And if you're wondering who this little lady is, who are you?
Maggie.
You're Maggie. How did you get here?
With me.
Grandma. Is it Nana or Grandma?
Nana.
Nana. So, as you know, the children are off school today and Jackie is looking after her granddaughter. So I said, bring her along and she can be our assistant. The thing is, she thinks she's going to get it easy. She doesn't know how much work she's got to do. So a big welcome to you all. I don't know whether you're in the group or whether you're on the page, but you know, just give us a wave, give us a hello, a love heart, anything you like. And let us know whether you're on the group or whether you're on the page. So welcome to our kitchen. This is the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. And when I say the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, this is my own personal kitchen, okay? So this is not a production kitchen. We don't produce food for the general public here. This is my home personal kitchen that we bake in. So regular people know that I do a Facebook Live. I don't charge for it, it's free. I go to all the preparation for everybody and it's just a bit of fun in the kitchen. I don't take it seriously, don't you guys take it seriously. All it's about is giving a few hints and tips. It's to help people who don't bake to bake. It's to help newbies, give them a few hints and tips. And amazingly, we've been able to teach the professionals things, which is great. I love that. And you know what I love is I love it when a professional messages in and goes, I've been a professional now for 10 years and I didn't know that. So you know what, there's always, we learn something new every single day. It's great, isn't it? So I've got the Baking Nana, that's what Jackie's known for. Jackie's known as the Baking Nana off Twitter. And her and Rob Allen run a fantastic group called the Twitter Bake Along. And I'll let Jackie tell you a little bit more about that. But Jackie knew I didn't have a guest in today and she said, you know, she came on my Nifty Nozzles a few weeks ago and she said, I'll do a giant cupcake with the nozzles. So I thought, great, I've got a day off. So I thought I could just watch Jackie. And then she messaged me and said, Carol, I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to play with the nozzles. Will you do the nozzle bit? So you've got me as well. So we're going to do a demo with the nozzles. So what I'm going to do is, seeing that Jackie has forced me to do some work today, I've taken Jackie out of her comfort zone, okay? So where Jackie was going to bring a lovable silicone mould that she's had for years, I said, no, I want you to do it in our Wilton giant cupcake pan. If you haven't got one of these, invest in one. They're absolutely fantastic. They'll last you for years. They're an amazing pan. It's the only one I use when I'm using it, making a giant cupcake. And we are going to make the cake mix today with flavoured icing sugar. So I just want to talk about the flavoured icing sugar. Can you use flavoured icing sugar in a cake mix? Absolutely. There's no reason why you can't. Okay, but you can use caster sugar and granulated sugar. It's entirely up to you as long as it's sugar. Why would you use the flavoured icing sugar? To give your cake flavouring all the way through. But I really don't mind which way you want to do it, okay? I always use caster sugar, if I'm honest. I've always used caster sugar and I still use caster sugar. But some people have asked me, can I use the flavoured? And they love it. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. It's their cake, it's not mine. Now, the times I use flavoured icing sugar in a sponge is when I just want a piece of sponge. So if I just want a sponge, I make a single sponge. I don't want no jam, I don't want no buttercream. I'll use the flavoured icing sugar. It makes a lovely, light, aerated cake. Okay, and then I use the flavoured icing sugar again. I add water to it, I drizzle it over the top. Sometimes I don't even let it set because I love it when it's warm, and I just have a slice that way and it's delicious. That's the way I prefer to use it. But everybody here has their own way, and feel free, you know, to tell us your own way. So I just want to get rid of talking to you about a few other things. So Jackie is going to bake the cake and she's going to help me decorate. Maggie is going to be our assistant. She's going to be mixing our buttercream and I give it to her, okay? And then I just, what I'm going to do is show you all the new products and how to use Nifty Nozzles. So one of the things I do want to talk to you about is the fridge magnets. You've all been getting them. I know one of two of you have missed them. So we're going to do it a different way. The boys put them in your boxes, but now I've asked the boys to staple them to your invoices, okay? So they'll come in a little bag with a compliment slip. So these are, I'm in a relationship with Sugar and Crumbs. Do collect them. We've got a competition on as well. The competition is on from last week to the 30th of June. So everybody who takes a picture with their cake at their magnet, pops it on our Facebook page or group, or, you know, make sure you pop it on one, message me. We'll collect them all in, and then we'll put them in the drawer for a £50 prize. And then there's the one who can take their magnet the furthest away. Now please don't take it outside your front door and tell me you're in Australia. We've just had this conversation. And you can't post it to anyone either, which some clever person mentioned last week. You need to take it on your holiday and have that landmark in the background. And then take a picture, and the person who is the furthest away will, if there's several people in Australia or Mexico or whoever gets the furthest away by the end of this month, June, they will go in the draw, and that's a £25 draw. So just a little bit of fun, okay? And then the group. If you've not joined our community group, feel free to join our community group. It's Sugar and Crumbs, all about cake community. So, Laura, have we got lots of people joining us so far?
Yeah, there is. There's lots of people. Ella's here.
Oh, hi Ella. So Ella is my granddaughter in Australia. I forgot to send her one. So, I've just sent her a parcel. She got it yesterday. I never even thought to put them in the bag. So I am sorry, Ella. So the group is a great group. The group's been going now 7 or 8 weeks. There's been massive positivity. Everybody has loved the group. Okay, the group I'll give you the name. It's called Sugar and Crumbs. The reason why it's called Sugar and Crumbs is that I am a small business. I am not going to be shy in saying the group is about promoting our products. That's what it's there for. If you've got a product, and somebody had these last week, or something, and you like it, feel free to say that's what you use. And you know what, if enough people like it, I will bring it in and stock it. Am I looking for people to promote other companies? No, not really, but I am happy for you to say which product you use. I'm about promoting my business. That's why I formed the group. It's why I'm paying for the group. It's why I'm paying for the support. And if anybody doesn't quite get that, then they should have read the name, Sugar and Crumbs. So all about cake. The reason it's all about cake is because I want you to share your bakes. I want you to share your bakes. I want you to share your experience. It doesn't matter if you've never made a cake and it's not as brilliant as the next person who puts a professional cake on. It's your efforts. Share them. If you're having a disastrous day or you need some help, ask for that help. We're there to help you. I'm not going to help with everything because there's 12,000 questions a day. Is it 12,000 comments a day? We're on 12,000 comments a day. I can't possibly read 12,000 comments a day. But the group is working together as a group and they're giving you their advice. Now somebody will tell you to do it this way, someone will tell you to do it that way. Jackie and I have just been talking. She makes her cake one way, I make my cake another. It's what works for you. And all you do is take that advice, give it a go, try it. It's a bit of common sense. There's no, you just do what you want to do. Community. It's meant to be friendly, okay? We're meant to be here enjoying each other's company. Say something positive. If you can't say something positive, say nothing at all. Unfortunately, we had a very bad incident this week in the group. I don't know how I got involved in it. All I did was I banned 2 members. I banned them because I didn't like their attitude. I'd already warned them. I tried to be nice. I tried to be supportive to them. And I just asked them to express their comments a little bit more positively. Unfortunately, that then turned into outrage. Outrage is not going to be accepted on the group. I won't be bullied by anyone. So in today's demo, we are prepared for angry faces. We are prepared for abuse. Don't acknowledge them, okay? So if they are watching and they want to fire those angry faces, you know what, let them get on with it, okay? If they want to say abuse, let them get on with it, because I'm going to enjoy reporting them afterwards.
There's enough nicer people anyway, so don't.
Yeah. Okay, and for people who don't want to read comments, turn your phone portrait and you'll just see the whole feed. And let's just get back to positivity. This group was amazing. We don't need those type of people in the group. So that's my say on it. That's the end of it. And I hope you enjoy the demo. I'm going to hand you over to Jackie. I've popped the oven on, we're ready. And you're going to come round here with me, or you're going to stand here with Grandma?
I'll sit here.
Good. Hey. She didn't want to be on here before. So can we, who's here, Laura?
So we've got 2 different groups of people, one from the community and one from the page. Lots of familiar names. So we've got Vicky Cottrell, Alice Anderson, B. Long, Kaz Gibson. I think Kat Riley's name's popped up on there as well. Elaine Hollowell. And then over onto the community, we've got Geraldine Kisby, Suzanne Walsh, Nikki Shevlin, Ella's been on there. It's just going too fast.
Morning. So what we want to do is say hello to you all. We're really pleased that you're here. We're very grateful that you join us every week. Do enjoy today's session. and thank you for being so supportive the other day. It was quite annoying, but I do appreciate all the support, and there was thousands of support. My messages did not stop pinging. It was crazy. Anyhow, off you go, Jackie.
Morning. So, I think some of you have probably seen, I posted a pictorial, I can never say it properly, but of a giant cupcake. So I said, oh, I think it'll probably be nice to come and do it live again, because I have done it once before. I actually do my mix slightly different from everyone else. So I always start off with my eggs, and we've got 6 eggs because we're doing a 12-ounce mix. And then we've got 12 ounces of the icing sugar. I'm just going to take this off before, I don't want a big cloud coming over. So we've got 12 ounces of the elderflower and lemon icing sugar.
Laura's going to shout out any questions because I'm not watching.
I'm just going to give that a little bit of a mix before I put the mixer on, because we don't want a snow cloud, do we really?
You need to shout up, Jackie, because we've only got one microphone.
Oh, okay.
And we're in 2 places. It's boiling, isn't it?
That really took much, so just do it slow to start off with.
So what have you put in there now?
So we've got 6 eggs and 12 ounces of the lemon and elderflower icing sugar.
See, now that's quite interesting, isn't it? You do eggs and sugar first,
Yeah.
and I do butter and sugar first. And this is where I'm trying to say to everybody, nobody's wrong.
No.
You've got to find out what's right for you, isn't it?
People say to me, why do you do it? To be honest, I really don't know.
So your grandma showed you.
Well, no, because I learnt myself. So
Yeah.
yes, and I probably just seen a recipe and it must have said that. But I have heard that they do it in France. So I don't really know.
Will you take your hand up the bowl so
Yeah,
then
sorry.
and film it? Otherwise, she just gets your arms off there.
You don't want that.
She does try
You're getting it
hard.
tattooed.
She does try hard.
When you're using the icing sugar, it is a lot quicker to mix. That is one good thing with the icing sugar. But to be honest, if I don't use icing sugar, I always use granulated, which doesn't really make much difference, to be honest, mixing wise. Okay. And then next, we put in 12 ounces of stock.
So just to, we've had a couple of people query about the icing sugar. We're using the icing sugar in the mix because it's a flavoured icing sugar.
Yeah. So if you don't want to do a flavoured sponge, just change it over to 12 ounces of caster sugar or normal granulated sugar. Like I said, it's a really easy recipe. This, you can't go wrong with this one. I mean, some people put it all in one. I haven't actually tried an all-in-one, have you?
My daughter makes it all in one.
Yeah.
See, and that's another way of making it, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is why it's good for newbies that they need to realise that find the recipe that works for them. Laura only uses the all-in-one method.
Well, this is it. I mean, someone says, no, you've got to do it this way. You don't have to take any notice of it. It just means it works for them. So, you know, whichever's easiest for you, this is my way. But I'm not, you know, when I do my chocolate cake, I don't know why. I do that with the egg and with the butter and sugar.
Yeah.
But I don't do it this way. It's strange, isn't it? And next we've got 12 ounces of self-raising flour. And we're using the McDougall's today. You see that? Oh!
not using her regular mixer.
Yeah.
She's now covered her, Maria, Maggie, and the whole
Sorry,
top.
Maria. There we go. Let me just sort Maria out. And I've got a flush
Sorry,
on.
Jackie, that's funny. Have you gone red there, Jack?
I have. It doesn't take long for me to go
You
red.
did well to get out of the way, Maggie, didn't you?
No, it's fine.
It's all over your top, Jackie.
See, the best of it is, this is why I love my Andrew James. That wouldn't have happened, would it?
There's nothing wrong with Andrew James. They're a great kitchen. They're a great food mixer.
I'm not looking at the floor.
It's because you use the
Do you know what?
settings to lick it up with.
Normally in your kitchen I'm roasting, and as the time goes on I can feel myself going, now I'm just red.
There you go. You always get some entertainment in the kitchen, everybody. Did you enjoy that?
I bet they're all having a good laugh now. I bet your granddad's laughing. There we go. You don't want to mix it too much now you put your flour in. Right, we'll just get our tin.
I brought you some spray, Jackie.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. It's not something that I
Right,
use.
so there's not much spray left in that one, but we'll use it a lot. I have to keep carrying two around because this nozzle's gone dodgy, so I need to swap it
Oh,
up
what?
soon.
If, like with these, it is a good idea to use the sprays, obviously. With the silicone, this is another question people ask. I remember making my very first one, and it stuck really, really bad. But they say you don't need to grease them
Is it on your silicone?
on the silicone
Yeah.
one. But if you are using one, grease it like you normally would a normal
Yeah.
pan.
I found that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this you spray well as well. Give it a good spray. So Maria's lens is now covered in spray.
Is that not enough?
Yeah, whatever. As long as it goes in all the crevices. And at the bottom.
That's not working here.
Right, so that is what the thing is. What it was.
Oh, you've got a
I
dodgy
bunged it
tin.
up, I've got a dodgy tip. And then what it was, I got another one and then I threw it away and thought, freaking throwing it away without swapping it over.
So not only have I sprayed Maria now, she
now
can't
covered in
see.
grease.
She can't see now either.
So anybody who doesn't know what this is called spray release. You can use margarine. I think you use margarine, don't you?
I use margarine, yeah.
Yeah, so you can use margarine, a thin coat of margarine. Some people do a thin coat of margarine with a bit of flour that they run over it. That's more than enough, Jackie.
Yeah.
It's going to slip out.
I was gonna say this is because I'm not used to using it, am I? But that's another thing. Make sure you do have that kind of thing rather than margarine with a tin. It's not. It doesn't always work.
What, use some margarine?
Margarine. I don't think so. A lot of people do it,
Yeah.
but don't have really good success with it. So.
Yeah. So you'll also see from this mix if Jackie,
You have
we
a
need to get
big
this
spoon.
pan under here now. So just make sure,
Can you just
Laura, you're
move
giving
this?
direction for the cameras. Okay, so I'll just move this out the way. You need to just make sure everybody can see everything. Laura.
no, big. No, the big chunky one.
What's that?
You've got a spoon.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
I'll keep that on here.
Right, is she in view of the camera there?
Yeah.
It'd
You
be
okay
easy.
there?
Yeah.
So can we get the
You push the pan forward just towards the camera. Perfect.
You okay?
There we go.
a bit more? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
So someone did ask, is the recipe enough to fill both halves of the tin?
Yes.
And yes, it is.
Yeah.
So the recipe that I've used is a 12-ounce mix. You can use a 10-ounce mix, put your oven on higher, but then what happens is it domes over the top, and I like to use a 12-ounce mix just to make sure that it's really full. So I like it to be full to the sides, not just a dome in the middle. That makes sense. If you use a 10-ounce mix, you'll get the dome in the middle of the cake, but it hasn't risen to this to all the sides. This way, I know that it's going to come right up.
And if you've seen some of my pictures where I do the giant cupcake, with 12 little cupcakes round the side. If you make an extra 4-ounce mix, you'll get the 8-ounce mix, I should say, you'll get an extra 12 cupcakes with that as well.
You've got a cloth there for your
Yeah,
fingers.
I'm going to do it over there. Always try and clean your tin up as well, because if you don't, sometimes it burns and catches it.
Yeah, easy to do.
Give it a little, won't do it on there because it will. Give it a little tap. And then that can go straight in the oven then.
Right, so let me just show you, when you're using this pan, just 1 second Maggie, just pop up, wait a minute because this is hot. I've got to tell you that I had this in the oven ready so that Jackie could just go and put it straight on the top. But because of this pointy bit underneath, you need something flat for it to go on. It will sit on your rack, but if you don't put it on properly, you could just end up missing it and it tilting, and then you've got a tilty cake. So find something that you've got flat, either a baking tray or your grill pan, and then just sit it inside that. Just thought as a fun to get out of the oven. So I'm going to put this back in the oven, and then Jackie can put this in here. Sorry, Maggie, I didn't want to get it burnt. So I'm on 140. Jackie?
Yeah, sorry. In the oven, 140 for about an hour and 15 minutes. Just check it with your, your skewer after that time. You might need an extra 5-10 minutes, or depends on your own oven. So that's our giant made.
So we won't bake until you put it in the oven.
Well, I thought that's where you'd gone.
No.
Just really awkward, doesn't it?
So I've got somebody asking, is it different quantities in each side of the tin? Which, yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of baking, because they're different quantities, do you take one outside out? You don't just leave
it's
it.
fine. Just put it in together. It's fine.
So it all goes in, and for the same amount of time in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not half and half. It's not 6 ounces in one and 6 ounces in the other. You just divide it so that each side is 2/3 full. Okay. So you divide it so it's 2/3 full, and do not ever attempt to ever take out half of one, because you'll never. It's a whole solid tin.
Yeah.
And if you come to try and hold that one while you tip out the top one, it's not designed like that. It's designed to bake all at the same time. So I'm going to let you move on with that, Jackie, and I'll let you have a breather.
Okay.
So after she's now bright red, after covering
I'll go and stand at the door for an half an hour.
after she's now covered everyone in buttercream. So I'm going to get the buttercream recipe ready for you. Can you just pass me that other slab of butter there, please?
Okay,
Yeah, we're going to make a kilo mix. So we're going to use the Nifty Nozzles today. So I've already put one in. Which one are we on?
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. So I've already put 1 slab of butter in. You can, if we go back, Laura, I've used butter. I use unsalted butter. Doesn't matter whether you use salted, whether you use unsalted. It doesn't matter if you use I don't know what should I call it. Stalk block, okay? Because stalk block, if you're vegetarian, vegan, okay, and you want to use stalk block, you can use that. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I just need another block of butter. Maria, can you just grab another block of butter, please? As quick as you can.
Could have done a sing and dance while we were.
Pardon?
She could have sang and danced while we
You're
were.
not saying tea. Oh, no, the tea's all there. Sorry, there was something wrong with that butter. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it smells funny, doesn't it?
I just got
Can you
scared.
just smell it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. Right. Okay then. So I'm just going to take this one out. Could you just rinse that bowl on for me, please? So it's very warm these days, and I have left that out all day yesterday, so I don't know whether it's curdled or something, but it has gone. It doesn't smell very nice.
Just while you're on, Carol, someone's asking what size eggs were used in the mix.
Large. I always use large. Now in some recipes, again, this is where things are a bit different, and you have to find a recipe that suits you, is that some people like to weigh their eggs. Yeah?
I just use medium, so it,
Yeah.
I think it doesn't really matter, does it?
No. And then while you're there, Jackie, there is some Ziploc bags in there. Can you put that slab of butter in for me and we'll put it in the bin?
Yeah.
Never had butter go funny on me before, that's strange. But this warm weather, when you're in warm weather, I just think it's just curdled. So, no, it's okay, it's alright. So you need your butter at room temperature, okay? So what did we do with that other slab of butter, Jackie? Oh, there it is. So this one's in here, okay? I'm going to get Maria to just pop this into the microwave for 30 seconds because I asked Maria to go in, obviously I left 2 blocks out, but one's just gone funny. So I'm going to put a block, solid block, in the microwave, yeah? There we go.
Rob Allen's just joined us.
Hi Rob. So that's going in the microwave for 30 seconds and then we're going to put it in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to beat the living daylights out of it. I've shown so many of you how to make the buttercream and it's just a simple basic buttercream recipe. So I just need a beater. So put this on. And while that's in the microwave, I'm just going to beat this first block. So a simple buttercream recipe is 250 grams of butter and 500 grams of icing sugar. We're going to use the flavoured icing sugar today because that's what I'm promoting, Sugar and Crumbs flavoured icing sugar. Of course you can use normal flavoured icing sugar and you can add flavouring if you want to. You do need to account for the liquid flavouring when you're making it a bit softer, yeah? So I'm just going to beat this until it's nice and white. So going back to the sugar, you can use unsalted, salted, you can use stalk block, you can use margarine if you want to, okay? The only thing with margarine when using it for the flowers, you need extra icing sugar to stiffen it up for the flowers because it really doesn't stiffen up, yeah? So let me just do that 1 second. And some of you put a post on about using willow. Now willow is a combination, I don't even know if it's got butter in it or whether it's margarine. Yeah. The thing with using willow is it's great in the winter, but in the summer it's really hard to handle, so you might need to add more icing sugar. So a few people have asked me about willow and I do advise not to use it, but I know a lady had great results the other day. What worries me about using it is if you panic and then yours isn't the same. It's very much like a very soft spreadable butter. That's what it is.
I found it impossible to
use.
With
I was going to say, I have used it, but I find it better to use in the winter when it's colder, whereas on these hot days, like today, the sun's not really out, but it's boiling. So just put that in there a minute. I've never had a batch of bad butter, have you?
No. Well, I wouldn't with it.
No, you won't. Don't start the margarine, you Jackie. Hey? I'll be having that lady telling me off again. She's actually in the kitchen as well. It is banter that Jackie and I have, you know.
It is.
So, and everybody starts commenting because they know that me and Jackie are going to start on it. So for those who like margarine, for those who like buttercream,
this is a big
all the stalkers, yeah. I know, it's so funny, isn't it? The stalkers. So if you don't get it, Jackie likes to make her buttercream with margarine. And I'm very much a fan that if you're making buttercream, you make it with butter. So that's why I called it margarine. But now somebody's renamed it the stalkers because Jackie uses stalk, yeah? So we're just going to beat this in, get it nice, white and fluffy. And then because we're using the Nifty Nozzles, okay, don't make 500 grams of buttercream. You really need to make a kilo of buttercream. With the flavoured icing sugar, because you're using it for the Nifty Nozzles, what you can do is use half and half, okay? So use 1 bag of flavoured and 1 bag of plain. And because I forgot to get some plain today, we're using 2 full strength ones. So we're going to do that. If you're going to use it in your baking mix, okay, use it full strength. Don't use half icing sugar, half caster sugar. Use full strength in any of the bakes. So I see lots of you The only time I recommend using half and half is for your buttercream. When you're making a recipe, and I see lots of you saying, oh, I just divide it half and half, I wouldn't, because it doesn't matter whether you use liquid flavouring or flavoured icing sugar or powdered flavouring, you do lose 50% of the flavour in the oven, okay? Now there's going to be some of you who say, you know what, I like it like that, and that's great. But for people who go, there wasn't much taste to it, then that's the problem. We all have different taste buds. You know, some are stronger than others. You know, not going to go into those who drink coffee all day, smoke cigarettes, their taste buds may be ruined. And there's those who don't, you know. So everybody has a different sense of taste, everybody has a different sense of smell, and you've always got to take that into account with anything you eat. I'm just going to beat this up until it's nice, white and fluffy. Now I could have pre-prepared this, but everybody always says, how do you make the buttercream? So it's softened butter, it's in the machine, and you beat that first. Don't beat the sugar and the butter together. Beat the sugar until it's gone nice and beat the butter until it's gone nice and white.
Everyone says to me, you know, how do you make yours look like? I said, you've just got to beat the living daylights out of it. I think a lot of people, they might just put the butter in or whatever they're using and throw the icing sugar in at the same time, and it will always be gritty and you'll never get that nice smooth.
I think that's where you do get the grittiness from when you don't beat your butter. You know, because sometimes people do say, you know, buttercream's gritty, and Jackie's just hit the nail on the head. You do really need to beat the living daylights out of the butter. So we've got to do this a few times. We've got to scrape down the bowl. Now again, it comes to mixers. Some food mixers, you know what, they've got a great paddle on and it'll take it down. So it'll whiz it round and it'll take it down. Others, it will just ping it to the side and push it up. So you just have to work with your mixer.
Have you ever had buttercream that's curdled by doing it this way? Because I haven't.
I've never had buttercream that's curdled. I've never had buttercream that's got butter that's gone off before. That was embarrassing, wasn't it?
No, it's
But
just that, that's another thing if you've said, oh, well, if you overbeat it, it curdles. I've been doing it for how many years, and I've never, ever had it curdled because I've beat it too much.
I would never have thought it could curdle.
No, I don't think so.
Right, so for those of you who are looking on this camera, okay, we can see it there?
Yeah.
So you can see it's really nice and fluffy, look. There's no, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to force it to do anything, there's no pressure there. So it needs to be really nice, light and fluffy. Okay?
You know what I find a good tip? If you leave a little bit of butter on your packet, beat it and put that towards the butter that you've actually beat, you'll see the big difference in the colour.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're chopping in the first bag.
Can you tilt it down towards the camera? Fantastic.
So we're chopping it in the first bag, and because I'm working at a funny angle, I'm also covering the worktop. No, it's okay. It's just that you forget these things because we all have a tendency to pull it towards us, and then when we're going live, you know, I have to sort of show it away from us. And poor Jackie's left-handed, so we always set up the kitchen for a right-handed person because we forget. I forgot I should have put the mixture on the other side today, so I'm sorry. So you just chop it in. Now the reason you chop it in is so that you don't get a big icing cloud in the kitchen. So once you see that it's got to this consistency, okay, we're going to put it back on the mixer. Can you see on there?
Yeah.
So take it all off your paddle stick, scraper, spatula, whatever it is that you're using. Make sure you take everything off. That one doesn't want to go. And then get it back on the machine again. So let's get that. So can I give you that to just wash for me so I can just clean this for me?
Ooh,
Please, sorry. She didn't catch. Are we over here? Are we over here?
Yeah.
She didn't catch after it. To be very responsive here.
I was actually watching the live.
Watching the feed.
So it's weird when you've seen you doing it and then it's on them.
The funny thing is when you're in the kitchen here and we're watching and what Jackie's doing there, is that I'm ahead of the game. But when you see it on the live feed, you guys are 30 seconds behind. So as much as you know what's going on in the kitchen, it's already happened 30 seconds before you've actually seen it. So it's really weird, isn't it? It's like, I remember when I watched somebody the first time and I came round to look at the cat, I left them here doing the demo, I came round the other side and I was still here talking. Yeah, it was on the other side, so it's quite weird. So we'll put that there a moment.
Yeah, I've just watched myself giving you the cloth back there. That's Twilight Zone.
So let me just show you what consistency this is like at the moment. So you'll see now this is with one bag of icing sugar in, yeah. So all of you who are asking questions all the time, you know, at this point now I would put in a bag of plain icing sugar and dilute the flavour, and I would only dilute it because of the amount of buttercream I'm going to put on the cake. But today we're putting 2 bags in simply because I forgot to bring in a bag of plain icing sugar. Can't remember it all. So this is going to be super strong. And the boys were hoping I was going to make biscuits with this today. So as I was leaving the warehouse this morning, I was in work for 5 o'clock this morning. Well, actually I wasn't in work for 5. I was picking 2 of the boys up at 5. So anyhow, when I took the lemon and elderflower, they loved those blueberry biscuits I made last week. And they said, Carol, will you make some biscuits today? So I took an extra bag, and it's in here now. But I've got loads of other stuff in there, they can have that. And those of you who enjoyed making the biscuits last week, how easy were they? They're the most simplest biscuits ever. I think it's great to use the moulds, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to beat this now. And we're in.
Have you ever used the moulds for chocolate?
Have I used what?
Use the moulds for chocolate? Because I use a lot of the moulds that are for icing.
Oh, moulds, chocolate moulds.
Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't. So if the cameras go all over the place in a minute, it's because we've got a fly in the kitchen, and for some reason it's dive bombing Laura. So she must smell very nice today, but so she's like this behind the camera. I'm not sure whether she's waving at me to tell me something, and then I see the fly coming over the horizon. So, but I do know some of you get a reflection in here, you can see it. So if you are clever, that's when you watch John pacing up and down the kitchen, in and out of the fridge. But now what you'll do is you'll just see wavy hands, and it's Laura trying to kick the living daylights out of a fly. So, but he keeps coming back for more. So we're just going to chop the second bag in. Now, in the winter, this is when you might want to add some water as well. Because in the winter, even though your kitchen is warm, the buttercream stiffens up very, very quickly. But in the summer, this will probably stay, you know, quite loose, really. So we're at this consistency. So you'll see it's gone a lot firmer. So we're at this consistency. And if you see an arm went out there, that was Jackie doing a punch to the fly. This fly is strong, let me tell you. There's only one in here, isn't there? He's getting it always. So,
well, we've got one in ours, and last night she was sleeping downstairs and it was driving you mad, wasn't it? So I said to Tommy when they left us there, I went, your mission is to go home and kill that fly.
Right. I must admit, we had one in the office yesterday, and all the office doors were open and he would not leave the office. So I've come in early this morning and I said to Jack, the first thing we've got to do is kill that thing today. Because we've done everything to get him out to save his life, but anyhow, I have to tell you he's gone. I got him with fly spray, albeit I couldn't breathe afterwards.
Tommy goes mad at me because we've got them nets over the door to stop him coming in, and then I've got all the windows wide open and it's like...
Right, so I'm going to give this a good thick beat now. So,
just as a really quick question, someone said, is it matter if you use a whisk attachment as opposed to a beater?
I wouldn't use the whisk, and I'm going to tell you why. It's a good question, that really. Just let me turn this mixer off, let me just get this going. Right, we're done. If you use a whisk, you're going to put too many holes in your buttercream, air holes, and it'd be too aerated. So you'll see people when they pipe, and they've got the little flowers, and it's got lots of little holes in it. And I do private message people if I know them, and I'll just say, look, you just overbeat your buttercream. And you know, I overbeat it as well, but you have to paddle it out. And I'm going to show you that as well. It's quite a simple process. But if you use a whisk, you've no chance.
Your whisk won't last very long either.
No.
Not if you're doing big batches of buttercream.
Yeah. So we've got our buttercream here, and we're going to keep some white. So I'm just going to move that board out of the way so that we can see what we're doing. I'm going to keep some white in the bowl, and then I'm going to make some colours up. So that's our white in the bowl, and hopefully we'll have enough buttercream for this giant cupcake. We should do. Right, okay then, so where's all those spatulas? They're here. So we're going to use a colour called Burgundy from the Colour Splash range. It really is a lovely colour, so we're just going to have a little squeeze of that, just a little drop when it drips off. And Maggie, you can come round here, and when I say paddle in, okay, can you see those holes there? Not you. Can you see those holes there? So when Maggie starts to mix, instead of going round like that, she needs to just paddle it in, okay? And you can see those holes, and scrape it and just paddle it down again, and it will go nice and flat. Yeah? So you see what we're doing there, Maggie? There's no air here today, is there? No, my wind charm that's in the garden isn't even going. So there you go, you're doing that one. We'll have to get some kitchen rolls soon. So, and then we're going to, I'm going to use the Fractal colour. This is my favourite colour at the moment, really nice purple colour. So we're just going to have a blob of that. And I'm going to give this one to Jackie to paddle out. There you go. Thank you. And then we're going to make up some green. And we're using the Colour Splash Pistachio. And you will see it's very messy. It's not meant to be messy. I normally keep all my tubes lovely and clean, but I had a class a couple of weeks ago, and the problem is when you get students in, they squeeze it all and then they don't always wipe everything down afterwards. So that one's going to go to Maria. She can do this one. And then I'm going to go back to, so you've got that lovely burgundy colour there, and I'm going to go back to this one here, the burgundy, and I'm just going to put a bit more burgundy in this one. So you've done well there, Maggie. Yeah? There we go. So let me just get it right the way around. So who's got Nifty Nozzles? What do you know about the Russian piping tips? Because I, on the community group, will not allow any copies, okay? So the reason I won't allow any